everybody, it's your old pal Tuna and welcome back to another video. So, we have to talk about block printing. 2 videos ago, you would have seen me go to this lino cut block printing on t-shirts class that I took with Brent Haddow here in Vancouver. And since then, my eyes have been opened and I can't stop printing on fabric. I've always felt that apparel was something that was kind of like out of reach or expensive because I'm used to having to do screen printing stuff, which is kind of a pain to do in your apartment when you live in 600 square feet, and kind of expensive when you have to order like batches of 50 or 100 items at a time. But thanks to block printing, everything has changed and I have been busy away printing this particular nori stamp carving that I've done on a whole bunch of garments for my upcoming market, Meowfest. I decided to go with 100% thrifted stuff, 1, because it's more fun, and 2, because it's more fun. It's just because it's more fun. And I just bought my second batch of items to print on. The first batch was kind of like an experiment, so it was my first time doing them here on my own, but I think they came out like so cute. And the fun part about this is because it's all handmade, there's a lot of room for error, and obviously each shirt is one of a kind, so every time I pull back the stamp to reveal how the print came out, it's like, which I think is what I'm getting addicted to in terms of printing on a million things. So far, most of what I printed on was white or denim. I even did jeans, which are really cute, and I have these other stamp designs of like stars and paw prints for detailing and adding some variation. But this next batch that I picked up is like more colorful, and I think it's gonna be really fun and cute. So cute. And my plan is to bring all of these with me to Meowfest, which is going to be, I believe this is going to be a Meowfest long vlog, so this is gonna be me prepping for the whole show. And I'm going to bring all of these one-of-a-kind garments, plus I do also have screen printed t-shirts and also tote bags. So there'll be a whole bunch of one-of-a-kind block print stuff, the screen print shirts and the tote bags. I think it's gonna be awesome. And fullest disclosure, I am certainly no expert on how to do this, so this is only the second session that I have had printing on fabric here. But honestly, it's so easy, and I need the world to know how easy this is so you guys can print on your own fabric stuff for like markets or just for yourself too. I recommend grabbing a garment that you don't mind getting a little bit of ink on, because this stuff is gonna stain if you get it on yourself, and it's a bit of a mess. You will need Speedball block printing ink for fabric. This is an oil-based ink. You'll need your roller, your tray, or a piece of glass to roll the ink out on, your garments, and of course your stamp. This is carved on the Easy Cut lino block. If you did want to do a more detailed design, I would recommend actual lino versus this like rubber stuff. And then yeah, you just roll the ink on at the correct consistency, pat it down, and then I kind of invented this strategy of using an additional roller that I had to really work the ink onto the fabric. The dude who was running the block printing class that I took had like an actual press, but you know, I didn't have an extra $1,000 lying around, so I just thought I would do this DIY version. And I take a paintbrush and I can fill in any really significant gapping, but for the most part you don't want to be like going over it with a brush. The texture of the paint just doesn't take super well to that. Yeah, and then it's rinse and repeat. It's really fun. You just reapply the ink, place it down. Obviously, you want to make sure that you are putting it down in exactly the right spot, but I'm not that much of a perfectionist when it comes to this sort of thing, and I'm a very hands-on learner. So for me, jumping into it and learning like how much ink to apply, how much pressure to apply is all part of the process. And then when you're peeling it up, you can kind of peel it back halfway, and if you feel like the ink hasn't transferred enough, you can try putting it back down and giving it an additional rub. But in my experience, it ended up mostly being an issue with applying the correct amount of paint to the stamp itself before putting it down. And if you do get any ink on any parts of the stamp that you don't want transferring, you can use your carving tool to scrape those away, because any ink will transfer once you start pressing down. And anyway, now you're gonna have a ton of stuff lying all around your apartment. Hooray! Good morning, everyone. So yesterday I spent most of the day packing up the Patreon lunchbox rewards for this month. I love to get those shipped out before the 14th of each month, so I wanted to make sure that those were pretty much off of my plate so I can focus just on Meowfest prep from now on. I've made like multiple to-do lists, but at this point I have it on these two little sheets of paper that have my things I need to do, and they're coded by the days that I've designated to work on them. So leading up to Meowfest, which is not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday, so I think I have about 10 days as of today. I have 4 days designated specifically to working on Meowfest prep stuff. Now, all of the block printing is done. That ink takes about a week in room temperature to cure, apparently. So the house is just filled with garments lying around everywhere. The main things that I need to do are I need to finish some custom painted fashion cat toys. Now, we talked about the fashion cat toys in the Q&A. I've painted a few here in some previous vlogs as well. And what they are little resin art dolls that I designed and worked with a small team to make back during the pandemic. Let's see if we can convince it. There we go. So I wanted to... Thank you for just knocking over all my sticker sheets. All right, I really appreciate that. I have a ton of these that never sold because I kind of like did this initial launch thing and I didn't do it very well. So unfortunately I only sold a handful of them. Because I have so many left, I'm trying to find a way to like make it fun for myself to bring them back to life again. So I figured Meowfest, Cat Festival, good time to show these off. So I wanted to work on a handful of one-of-a-kind custom painted designs. I have those 2 currently completed, and my goal is to finish 5. I have to complete at least 3 more. If I manage to do more, that'd be great. I'm gonna have 2 blank ones on display because I sell them as like kits so you can paint them yourself. So anyway, today and tomorrow, it's Thursday. If I turn my computer screen on, you'll know that I checked the date again. It's Thursday something. Today and tomorrow, I'm going to be working on these fashion cats. I want to have all 5 completed by the end of the day tomorrow because the majority of the rest of the stuff that I'll do next week involves mostly setting up displays, redoing my signage. It's really, I think I need to just like pick a vibe for the signs because doing them repeatedly over and over again for every show is just a gigantic waste of time. But again, as I've mentioned before, every show I have a different amount of table space. I have a different like amount of display space. Like this is a booth. I have a whole booth, so I'm gonna have 2 tables and a garment rack, for crying out loud. I need new signs, but we want to cut back on wasted time as well. Before I start on completing the rest of these fashion cats, I need to wait for Mr. Nori-chan to slow his roll. So I'm going to take this time to stick these labels on the back of my sticker sheets. This is something I have literally been meaning to do the entire year because a lot of the time when people purchase sticker sheets, they don't want a bag. I'm forced to hand them a business card. The business card gets separated from the sticker sheet. They're like, where did this come from? I don't remember. So I've opted for, on the bottom here, my website, and on the top, an advertisement for my monthly sticker Patreon subscription club. I didn't want to put a social media on the back just because that's all been in a bit flux, and hopefully people will take a business card too. But yeah, we're gonna stick some stickers on the back of these while Nori calms down, and then we'll get to painting this afternoon. Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday Tuna here. We are officially 1 week away from Meowfest, and so far extremely good. As you could tell from the last clips, I did not end up painting the fashion cats on Thursday and Friday. I just didn't really have the energy for it, so I decided to do some of the more menial tasks that were on my list. I have 3 ideas for fashion cat designs ready to go. I'm gonna do a Star Trek themed fashion cat that's gonna have a little Starfleet uniform and probably like a normal kind of cat pattern, maybe calico I'm thinking. I'm gonna do an alien fashion cat for whom I'm going to fashion little alien antennae that I can glue on. And then for my third design, I'm going to do a beachy inspired one because I have all of these little tiny seashells from when I was working on my wig for the Renaissance fair that you saw in the last video. Today I just want to focus on painting the cats because it's kind of like a gotta be in the zone, get all the materials out sort of thing, and it's fun, so treat yourself. Again, so a few hours have passed and I've been painting. These are very simple looking, but because I have to do a few layers of gouache, I have to wait for everything to dry, and because they're so small, I have to go very slowly and be very careful with all of my lines, because if I make a mistake, there's not going to be a lot of hiding it that I can do. They end up taking a really long time. So the first pass of everything is complete, which is to say the first coat, the second coat, and the detailing. I still have to do both of the fashion cat's faces. I told myself I was gonna finish up around 5 and then go run some errands / go look at Halloween decorations in HomeSense. But because I'm not done and there really is quite a bit more time that I don't want to brunt onto tomorrow, I'm going to be a good boy. I'm going to stay in and keep working. And you'll excuse me if there's just not a lot of footage of me painting because it is kind of awkward to be breaking and moving the camera when I'm trying to focus. It's not as automatic as something like digital painting or the pet portraits tend to be. Well, the painting is done. The fashion cats are almost ready for Meowfest. The last 2 steps to putting these little guys together is adding the whiskers, which is maybe one of the cutest parts in my opinion, and then sealing them so that the paint has the best chance of a long life. Not gonna lie, I am a little bit proud of myself. I actually didn't think that I was going to get all 5 completed, partially because of time constraints and partially because if you have watched most of the videos on my channel, I've talked about these toys before as being kind of like a weird emotional sticking point for me because, long story short, they didn't succeed as a product in the way that I had originally designed them to be, but reframing my perspective as to what they are has been really, it's been a very long process, but I think it's ultimately paid off. So going forward, my plan with the fashion cats is to focus on them being one of a kind painted creations and then selling the blanks for people to paint their own designs on. I'll bring them to Meowfest, and my plan is actually to list them in my online store to go live while I'm at Meowfest, and then people there can like scan a QR or whatever, buy it off of the online store if they want, but I'll also have it available for everyone, so people from here, there, and all over the place can buy them as well, and then I'll just ship them out. I think that gives them the best chance of finding a good home. And you will be watching this video the day after they are released, so you're welcome to go check out my shop to see if they're still available. Like, they probably will be. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I feel the creative flow, and by adding the little polymer clay bits and pieces or the kind of collaged elements to them, it just brings them to life a little bit. I don't know. I'm chuffed. You can probably tell. Do you like this mug? I got it at HomeSense. It's from this season, so many, many more to come. I hope. It was $6 Canadian. Basically free. I don't know. I think coffee tastes better out of a spooky little mug. Don't you? Doing down there? All right, so this morning I went out and took those videos and a bunch of photos of all of the new merch that I have coming to Meowfest, just for posterity and for social medias, whatever, and then also for updating my shop, because my plan is to actually do a shop drop simultaneously now with Meowfest. So not only will the fashion cats be going up, but I'll also be throwing the t-shirts and tote bags up for pre-order, and then maybe the enamel pins we will see. But yeah, it'll be open right now if you're watching this video, so pop on over there. Well, if you're watching this video when it comes out, not, you know, at some distant future point. So weird to think that this will exist now for all of time. It has been oppressively hot for the last 2 days. I also hurt my wrist yesterday, but as of like now, it's not hurting as much anymore, so I can jump back in to all of the prep that I have to do. We've kind of entered the many small to-do things portion of the week, which can be like the most fun because you get to check a lot of things off your to-do list, and the most stressful because if I miss anything, I'm gonna regret it. I think we can speed this thing along, so I will be checking back in with you at Meowfest. Oh my god. All right, everybody, hello. We literally just got in from Meowfest, and my intention is to post this video the morning after. So I wanted to make sure to let you guys know all about how it went directly. I'm gonna keep this real short and sweet, not gonna go into as much detail as before. You watched me spend 30 minutes and the better part of a week prepping for the show, and I believe that I made less than 1,000 Canadian dollars gross, and the table cost almost $500, not to mention all of the new shit that I bought specifically for this show because I had expectations. I was told Meowfest is great. No, Meowfest is not great. The problem is that I think a lot of people were just there for a good time. They really weren't there for shopping. Like, I don't think that the vending aspect of it was really what people were there for at all. And to me, it seemed that attendance was lacking. Like, I don't know how many tickets they sold. I don't know how it compares to what I heard was a smash hit, super busy time last year. But for the price that they charged for the table and the volume of people that I was seeing coming through, it's like, I don't know about that. There was also kind of this vibe where like people were looking for free stuff, and I don't really think anybody was giving anything away for free, but they had this like stamp rally. So every single patron was coming around with a sheet of paper to prove that they stopped at every booth to get a stamp. And they'd be like, can I have a stamp? Can I have a stamp? And I'm like, go stamp it yourself. The stamp's over there. Because like, luckily Mark did come with me to this one, but most of the time, you guys know, I am alone working these booths, and like I would have no way to be constantly stamping people's papers while I'm in the middle of like trying to make sales or just chatting people up. So logistically, that just really didn't make any sense to me. And I only it was probably in an email that I didn't read somewhere, but I found out about it in the morning because Casey, who was also there, told me that there was this stamp situation, and then I found the stamp that they gave me and whatever. So I don't know. I'm super disappointed. Like, it's not the biggest waste of my time and money, but I feel like I've wasted so much time. And I'm trying to frame it where like the majority of the prep that I did for this show will roll forward, and all the stock that I purchased can roll forward. But I'm deflated. I'm very deflated. And it feels so anticlimactic to end this like, we have so much work to do, like con prep vlog with basically a big L. But I guess that's just the way she goes sometimes. And like, did I have a good time? Like, yeah, it was pretty laid back, so I wasn't very stressed, and I saw a couple of my friends, and I did buy some stuff from other vendors. I really wanted to try some other cat-related conventions, like there's one in Seattle, and I don't know, there's more around somewhere, but it just sounds like it is more of a bring your family to go look at famous internet pets kind of situation than let's go buy some cool cat-related merch. Like, I literally sold 2 t-shirts. I bought 50 t-shirts. I didn't sell a single tote bag. And I did sell a good handful of the one-of-a-kind printed items, like I think 6 or something like that, which is fine. But like, I was expecting to like sell out. Not of the 50 t-shirts, but certainly of the single printed ones that I made. I don't know. I try and keep my expectations like realistic, but this time I failed. I forgot one last thing before I go. I wanted to say that if you did want to pick up something from me, I do have my shop open now for a limited time. I'm not really sure when I plan to close it exactly, but I do have orders up for t-shirts and tote bags, and then there are a few of the original one-of-a-kind fashion cats left available. Also custom ones and blank kits if that interests you. Gotta make sales somewhere. So thank you so much if you do decide to make a purchase in my shop. The link will be down below. But yep, you made it to the end of this vlog. Ta-da. There will be more cons for the rest of the year. A lot of them are other kind of like weird, I don't know how it's gonna go sort of events. Like, I'm going to go to a literary festival with my graphic novels, and then I have more of a traditional craft market later in the fall, and then I'm gonna be traveling to go to a small town to do an anime convention / pop culture convention out there, and then I have a big craft show in the winter, and probably some other stuff that I'm not really remembering right now. But I hope that you will subscribe so you can follow me along on all the ups and downs of my journey. And I want to give a big shout out to all of my patrons, like especially at times like these. I appreciate having the steady flow of income. So if you are a subscriber over on Patreon, whether you are pitching in $1 a month or $10 a month for mailable rewards, I appreciate every single one of you. And sending stuff out to you is literally my favorite part of my job, so yeah. Be sure to like the video if you made it all the way to the end, and leave a comment and tell me about a time that you failed and how you picked yourself back up from it, because I think I need a pep talk. Stay sparkly. Don't let the cruel world dull your shine. I'm talking to you, Tuna. Don't let it dull your shine. And I will see you next time.